that we knew about, which is why somebody, somewhere has to check on the child, has to interview Hunter, has to interview the child's mother, and maybe has to interview Joe Biden and his wife to determine what was going on and what they did about it.
Are you one of the questions that the left keeps throwing up is that this is just you and Rudy intruding in the last fight in the desperate attempt to save a failed presidency. So you're going after in the low what Jake Tapper continues to refer to as a heinous play by the most hardcore and demented of the Trump crazies, and you and Rudy at the top of that. You've been a law enforcement officer all your life. Is there any doubt in your mind, particularly after you brought in those outside guys to take a look at it independently that had no association with you and Rudy, is there any doubt in your mind that what you took to Delaware was at the level that an investigation should have been done or an intervention should have been done?
Absolutely, 1,000%. You know, I keep hearing all this stuff about Russian disinformation, you know, between the networks and the political players on the left. Here's the only, I hate to say this and make a joke out of it, but here's the only way this could be Russian disinformation. The Russians would have had to hypnotize Hunter Biden to walk into the Mac store and drop that computer off, his own computer, that I had to hypnotize him to get him to do that. He walked in, he delivered it, it was his computer, and we have a hard drive of what was on it, as does the FBI. The FBI has a hard drive, and they also have the computer. Don't tell me it's Russian disinformation. Don't tell me those videos, those photos are of Hunter Biden. And if
so, we've been 9 days. We've been 9 or 10 days into putting on from there. By the way, Rupert Murdoch, who owns the New York Post and the Wall Street Journal and the Sun of London and Fox News, I think he's got $80 billion to $100 billion of publicly traded market capitalization. A pretty sophisticated team at the New York Post, a paper founded by Alexander Hamilton, one of the oldest papers in the country. I think it's the third or fourth biggest paper in the country. It has award-winning reporting all the time and doesn't lose lawsuits. They know what they're doing on the technical side. They know what they're doing on the legal side. Also, we have not heard from one surrogate of the Bidens. We haven't heard from one of their running dogs. We haven't heard from the Bidens themselves. Not one person has refuted a photograph, a text message, or an email that's coming out. And Jack Maxey's got so many more emails with financial crimes in it that are coming out over the weekend and in the next couple of days. So, Bernie, where do you? We got a couple of minutes in a second. Where do you think we stand with you and Rudy finding out? Is the FBI investigating? Is Delaware just punted this? I think people are sitting there going, leave the presidential election aside, leave all of that aside. Obviously, what's most important is the welfare of the young girl. Is there any way to understand, has any authority, any adult, anybody that's in a position of fiduciary responsibility over this, had any contact, intervention, questioning, interview, investigation? And just because the FBI has it, what are you and Rudy going to do about it?
Well, listen, I think anybody that's interested, whether there's been contact with the family, they've got to contact the county police. We haven't heard anything back. Nobody's gotten back to us. I feel, Steve, that the press, the mainstream media, they hate Trump so bad, they don't give a damn about this kid. They don't care they don't care what happened. I'm kind of shocked by the whole thing, that it's this grotesque. But at the end of the day, and if I was, I got to tell you, put the politics aside. What did the FBI do? What did the FBI do from December 9th? If I was the president, I'll put it this way: if I worked for Rudy Giuliani, and this thing went untouched and unlooked at for 10 months, I'm telling you, I would have been fired. So somebody has to make a determination what the FBI did, who made the determination not to do anything if they didn't do it, Where they're at this point, those questions have to be asked. Politics aside, I don't give a damn about the election. The bottom line is there are crimes committed that anybody else in this country would go to jail for, would be locked up for already. They'd be in handcuffs, whether it's the financial crimes. That stuff Jack Maxey found is insane. The SEC violations, completely insane. Anybody else would be in handcuffs and be locked up right now pending trial.
Bernie, how do people get access